either one of you, does it kind of amaze you that the 78 team can do what they do, being based in Denver and being such a a good team? Either one.
I think they've had a lot of. I was tied to that deal when I was at RCR a little bit when Kurt was driving it, and they probably spend as much money as anybody in the garage, if not more, per team. But they have a lot of logistics to overcome, and it's taken them a long time to get the people in place. But they have good people. They have a lot of people that travel back and forth, and they spend as much money as anybody in the team from travel and those things to make sure they get their guys back to Colorado. So they put the effort in, and it shows.
Go to Zach.
Zach Sterniel with the Pocono record. For Jimmie, this is the first race since August of 2012 where a Hendrick car hasn't gone to victory lane here. For your race personally, obviously there was that contact with the wall late on the restart like you talked about, and the flat tire earlier. To overcome that, where do you think that sets your race team right now going forward?
I think it says that we're doing a good job. Our car drives good in traffic, which is something I didn't have last year. So I'm very happy to have that. And I've had to pass a lot of cars through this first part of the season from poor qualifying efforts or a flat tire like we had today. So I think we're doing well. We still need more speed. Even if we're the fastest car, we probably still want more. But to have the 78 and the 4, so far ahead, and the speed that Kevin showed in practice, and what kind of speed is really in our Hendrick equipment.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times-Tribune. For both you guys, there was a lot of talk about the bumps in turn 2, how it was going to play out in the race today. Just what were your thoughts, on the bumps going through there today?
I think after the first run, I think everybody was kind of settled down on the bumps. But if we could just keep them, if the track's smooth, a lot of them are gonna complain about it being too smooth and doesn't have enough grip. And now there's 3 bumps in the track, and it's the end of the world. So I just. I think Jimmie's probably the same way. You used to just go to the racetrack, and if there was a new bump, you came in and you said, "Hey, there's a new bump," and you go to work on it. And so I probably made 70% of my passes today in the tunnel because guys would get there and bounce and move up the racetrack or get loose or whatever the case may be. But I made at least 70 or 80% of my passes over there today.
I totally agree. It was an opportunity to work on your car, to an opportunity to pass. I think it really surprised us all our first trip through the tunnel. It's a hairy corner to start with, and then to roll off in there your first time and find those bumps, I just think it got everybody's attention. I don't mind the bumps and the challenges that come with all that stuff, so I second what Kevin said.
Okay, we'll go to Zach and over here to Jeff.
Zach Tanzavetti, Robbins Racing for Kevin. You've been where Martin is right now with ending a big, long winless streak. What do you think he's feeling right now, not only because it's for a smaller team, but ending such a big winless streak?
Yeah, the size of the team doesn't really matter. I think when you look at, everything that personally, that Martin and Sherry have dealt with, I'm just super, super happy for them personally. I'm super happy for Barney and his team, but more importantly for Martin and Sherry to see them have that bright spot of today is something that I think the whole garage is going to support and be happy with. So, obviously you always want to win, but when you can see something come full circle like their situation, it makes you proud to know them and be a part of the sport in general, to see how they've supported Sherry and all the things that they've gone through.
Jeff?
Jeff Clark, USA Today. Actually, my question was something similar. So, Jimmie, could you speak to that as well? I mean, it seems like the Truex would be pretty popular in the garage.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I could add to what Kevin said is just the professional side of Martin's career in the last few years. When you go back to the Richmond race and the challenges that he has had, he's had more to overcome personally and professionally than probably anybody sitting in a seat right now. And for him to still walk in the garage every week with a smile on his face, climb in the car, put in the effort, be the great guy he is, I think speaks volumes, and very popular win for him. I went to victory lane myself, give him a fist bump, tell him good job as well. So very popular win for sure.
Wrap it up, Ryan.
Kyle Magda, Wilkes-Barre Times leader for both of you. You're off the mile-and-a-half tracks now with the rules package. What did you think of the racing today at Pocono? And what any improvements that NASCAR could make, or are you satisfied with the product you had today?
I mean, you know, it's really not any different than it has been for the 15 years that we've raced here. You know, I think the bumps in the tunnel added some different things to it. I think the restarts were crazy. So, you know, I don't know that the rules package is really out. I think everybody's really blown it out of proportion, and really, when you look back at things and you look how things work, it's not a lot different than it has been. So you just, for whatever reason, everybody wants to talk about it a lot more than they have. And it's like I watched that. Is it the '92? I think it's the '92 All-Star race. You go back and watch that race, and everybody talks. You know, they made it into this great production and great race on TV. It was like follow the leader in 1992. It was way worse than what we are today, and it just happened to be a crash at the finish that everybody thought was spectacular. So, and Earnhardt spun out, so that always makes it interesting. It's just like the pass in the grass. There was no pass. I don't understand.
So the only other thing to add, I think the track's coming around here. We're seeing lane widen out. There was an outside groove that worked in one. Didn't have to run the bottom in 3 on restarts. The second lane was working. So I think what the track did and the type of asphalt they put down, I think the next year or two we'll actually start widening out the racetrack, especially in 1. Yep.
Gentlemen, thanks again for coming in today. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week in Michigan.
Ready to go?